What's up, Alex? Can you hear me? Sound test, sound test. Thank you. Still awaiting Anna and Mike. Yeah, I like this topic. I mean, it's like, well, we can talk about it. Some people are like paranoid. Oh, you know, but I'm not. I'm not doing a general shout out to every little person. I'm just doing the two main ones tonight. Don't have the mental fortitude for that. Click, 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 click. Okay. Hit what button now? And I hit that one. All right, here we go. I'm like, what am I doing? All right, Mike's still
Crossing
on.
the void, beyond the wall of worlds, and along the arc of time. dwell those not of our place or age. It is too easy to say that there is dark and there is light. It is too easy to say that there are two sides to every coin. The reality is far worse.
Chuck's voice.
For law flirts with tyranny. Chaos
I can't
invites
hear that, but the
freedom.
video looks good.
Oh, you can't hear him talking? You can't hear Chuck
No, I
talking?
can't. I can't. I just see it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But no
And
worries.
those in the middle,
Chuck's talking.
they are worse, for they know nothing but self.
What's up, Mike?
The
Richard?
Codex Infernum and the Codex Exaltum, two source books that bring in-depth knowledge about beings of all dispositions, from the farthest reaches of the heavens to the darkest depths of wretchedness. Both of these titles come with new, full-color art, new creatures, new powers like possession, and a multitude of information providing lore, backgrounds, names, mechanics, stats, and much more. These incredible tomes are filled with demons and angels, devils, and
Carlos is hopping on.
celestials,
Good.
unleashing the power
I know he's at
of
work,
good and evil,
so
law and chaos
Hey.
on your table.
I'll cut
Hey,
this.
what's happening, Jay? How you doing?
I cut these ads
Bringing
short now that I know you got
creatures
limited
hallowed and
time. So
profane
give me a
into
second.
I
your
have very limited
pledge
time
be
right now.
Give me 1 second.
So,
Awesome. I know you're at work.
yeah. How's everybody doing today?
Good, man. It's really good.
Awesome.
Surviving.
Right on.
We're gonna come on live because we got Carlos on now, and I know he's got very limited time, everyone. So, we'll
Sorry,
come-
guys.
No, don't. No, hey, man. Like I told you yesterday, we came up with this topic like less than 24 hours from ago.
Right on. I get it.
Yeah, it was rough. I got so much crazy shit going on in my life right now.
Oh, I bet.
But, yes, Carlos said he can hop on for a little bit, so we're gonna have Carlos on for a few minutes, and then Mike will be on. Good evening. Awesome. Look at that. I didn't put Holes up even in that list. I put Marquez up there.
Ooh,
Carlos
that's nice.
says he can have the first hour or so just talk about his cool
He's
stuff.
probably-
That's
I
it.
wish I probably have about 10 to 15 minutes, unfortunately, Anna. But I will be happy to speak about what I got going on.
cool. Yeah.
I wanted to get my Carlos pile off. Okay. All right. So it is 7:52, but we're gonna come on early because we have Mr. Carlos Lacing for the second week in a row here. So
Hey, what's going on,
You
everybody?
don't see anything because boom, there we go. It's good to see everyone. Yeah, bright and early here. Thank you, Geek Puppet. Really appreciate that. And Carlos, so I know you're at work. And,
I am.
And I know
Coming to
you
live
saw.
from beautiful Painesville, Ohio,
Yes.
where we have about 2 inches of snow outside.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Crazy.
Mhm.
That's nuts.
Oh, I love it. Well, you know me, I'm a hockey player. I love it.
Yes, I was watching the Flyers game, and they were losing 2-1, and then they had
They
did
tied
a
it up 2-2. Atkinson scored on the
Oh,
redirect.
thank God! They had it was it was bad. That was 2-1, and then they did a challenge on offside call. They upheld it. It was offside. And 10 seconds later, they scored again. They were down 2-1. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
So-
I was watching it too.
Oh man! So I'll Candy, I don't have that set yet. Give me 1 second here. So we're doing classic D&D reprint giveaways again. Here comes Mike on as well. So no.
Hey, you didn't know this, Jay, but you're actually doing a giveaway for Castle Entertainment PDF as well.
Oh, good. Okay. A choice.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to do it a little bit special since you guys are being so kind as to highlight third-party publishers today.
Yeah.
We're prepared to give away the PDF of your choice.
That's
Whoever wins
awesome.
can choose whichever one they want.
Now, I don't have that many. Okay.
Woo! I have that many.
I have a lot. And of course, this is all about third-party publishers tonight, and you'd be surprised how many. We have some that are definitely Greyhawk, and some that aren't, but could be, But now Carlos is at work and is able to join us. Roy, hey, Mike, good to see you. We're going to just hop into what CSL Entertainment has. The most popular one of all time, of course, is this one. Sorry. Which, Carlos was kind enough to jointly do with me. But we have other great ones. The 9, which we talked about and he gave away last week. Caverick's Cove, which is a setting.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Caverick's Cove is probably right now, it seems to be our best reviewed module. People seem to really have responded well to it. It's kind of my ode to the village of Hamlet, as far as being an introductory module. Gives plenty of DMs hooks for possible adventures within the region of Central Radic, and gives a kind of a thriving and vibrant community full of NPCs. There's all kinds of ways that every character is interwoven into the fabric of the community. There's very few characters that have less than 2 plot hooks in it. So, when you're in Caverick's Cove and you're playing that module, you can literally use that as like Village of Hamlet as a campaign setting for. And I know some of you guys out there have done that. Wiley Hobbit, in fact, has run many adventures out of Caverick's Cove. I think
Retro Gamer,
has also done, as well. So that one seems to be very well received by the community, and I'm grateful for that. As a matter of fact, on my Forge right now, I've got probably about 3 or 4 modules away from us right now. I have a second setting style module planned for a locale called Bluebell Knoll, which is in the northern part of Keelland, right over by the Axewood.
Ooh. Ooh, that's
a little bit of a dead zone in the map where we're not a whole lot. I've seen published stuff happen, so we've decided we're going to go ahead and put something there.
That's not far from my wheelhouse, Carlos. That's exciting.
I know. I think that you'll really dig it. For those of you guys who played games with me at conventions before, the setting will not be too much of a surprise. I've run 3 games so far out of Bluebell Knoll, most of which will be incorporated into that into the module when it's done.
Are you going to be playing that at GaryCon?
I will be doing a Bluebell Knoll adventure at GaryCon, but I will not be doing the one that is in the module.
Okay, well that's cool.
It will probably be incorporated into the module when it's done, but it won't be. It's not something that I'm just doing as a standalone.
So I'm missing, I think, A8, but I got
A8 would be A8 being Blackthorn, right?
Right, I got all the Marquesas, and then I got Thicker Than Water, which is kind of afterwards. So we got.
Yep. You're missing just one of them right there, which is from Dark Rose's Blackthorn's Grow, which is all about Marquesa's 2 lieutenants, Blackthorn and Icar from A2, The Secret of Slaver's Stockade.
So I need to get that. I need to get that one, definitely. So, and these are really awesome. I know Anna played in these, Mike played in these at previous Gary Cons. So
right.
you got here's Kill Marquesa A5, and you got
Mike actually played in the very, very first run of a Castle Entertainment module, which is Kill Marquesa, which was at Gary Con, I believe, 12, right, Michael? Was that correct? 12?
I don't remember the number on that, but I didn't know I was in the first
you were
run.
In that. Yep, first run. You and that's where I met our friend Jason. Was that one? He ended up playing our dwarven fighter, Maria Hammerfist.
Oh yeah, Hammerfist.
So XT, Carlos gets sold out quicker than almost anyone there.
Yeah, I do.
At
But
Gary Con. So,
but by the same token, when I do sell out over there, feel free to reach out to me. To tell me that you couldn't get into a game. You never know. I might be able to fit you into a game because I sometimes hold back seats, or I often run games off schedule. So I'd be more than happy to run, something off schedule for you guys.
And also the way they do it now, they at least have 1 ticket for silver, right? Usually they have 1 ticket for gold, 1 ticket for silver. So, and if Carlos has 5 or 6 in there, the diamonds and the platinums are only going to get like half,
Right.
So you got to be like on the minutes that those open up to get, depending on what color badge you are. I mean, it's just the way it is with Carlos's games. They fill up there super fast, which is
I like I said, I mean, I kind of was a little bit inspired by the Pearl Jam aesthetic there about how they fought with Ticketmaster for so long. I hate the fact that the nature of the beast means that I can't play with people that I want to play with a lot of times. So like I said, I do run a lot of unscheduled games just for that explicit purpose, so that people don't get frozen out because they don't have the deepest pockets or because they couldn't get online within 30 seconds after the games go live. So like I said, feel free to reach out to me, and say, hey, what do you got going on off schedule? And I can make sure that we're doing that I get you into something good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. And yeah, and also target a couple people will say, and I have this too. I don't want to brag as much as Carlos does because I haven't been going as many years as he has, but I have those in the community that have the silvers, like Von Molko, I think got in, and Jeff, were you silver or gold last year? You got into one of my games, so I know the feeling on that and how it sucks. But target them, boom, the second it goes on, because people are targeting Jim Ward games or Tom Tullis games, or
if you think you have trouble getting into mine, you should try getting into one of those.
Right. So those are the games that you can probably get into. Right off the bat is one of them. If you immediately on that day and you cannot, that minute. So, and there's some people here that are veterans of doing that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But the really cool thing is Carlos and I are going to be there. We got other DMs there. William Henry DeVore is going to be there. John Birchfield's going to be there. A ton of community people are going to be at GaryCon. Running games. So, so what? Castle Zaggig is coming back possibly with new content. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm kidding.
Talking about they're talking. Yeah.
It's coming. They're reprinting it, but there might be new content. I'm not sure how much of that is kind of
not new yet. Not new yet. There.
Yeah.
It's all reprints.
I'm beholden not to speak about that topic.
See, Scott, that's really that's an honor to you to say that. Who you're looking for to get into games on. That's really cool, man. Right. That's so really cool. All right, so Carlos, what we have you? Where we got you? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I got about 5-10 minutes.
All right. What?
That's it.
Yes, and then
I'm sorry, Michael.
Yeah, that's why we started right away.
All night.
Hey, good to see you there. And Rob's going too. Robert's going to both. We got a ton of people going. What has been in the last, let's just say, 2 to 3 years, your most favorite undertaking, and why?
In the last 3 years, the thing that's been most personally rewarding was I ran a charity module called Tears That Forever Stain, which was done for Cheetah Conservation Fund. And so many people in the community were out there to support us and play in those games. And we raised plenty of money for cheetah conservation, and we were able to actually adopt a cheetah from them and support that particular cheetah. So yeah, that one, we do a lot of charity modules. Castle Entertainment does, whether it be a lost dog that you just showed, whether it be Hounds of Earth, a project that I did with several of you out there in the community. Castle Entertainment is very invested in doing charity work. So I would say for myself, the most personally rewarding thing that I've been able to do is use our platform and as a publisher, but more importantly, to show the world that our community here, the Greyhawk community, we're, the power of our collective, creative spirit and just the size of our hearts, really. I think that was really, that was very rewarding for me to be able to do that. Plus, it was one of my favorite modules I ever did. We did a lot of cool interior art for it. A lot of cartography went into that one. So I feel really good about that one.
And you're going to try and keep that February weekend free, right, for the St. Jude fundraiser? Because when you're there, we raise a lot more money.
Of course I am.
Awesome. Yes. And demons, devils, whatever you want, infernals, however you want to go at it, man.
Oh, it's demons and devils this year?
Yeah, it's going to be a infernal invasion or something like that. Yeah, something like something to that effect, or
well, to quote Doc Holliday, that's my game.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be an absolute blast this year. So hey, Blue Box, good to see you.
Hey, Blue Box.
We're doing.
But anyway, yeah. That was good. Blue Box actually was one of the people who won one of the big prizes from that Tears Up Forever Stain. he was one of the high bidder on the cheetah dice, one of the sets of cheetah dice that we had. So that was really cool. That his generosity was one of the reasons why we were able to donate so much to the charity.
So everyone who just came in, this is Carlos Slicing. He's only on for a limited amount of time. We're doing third-party publications for Greyhawk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a whole bunch of stuff to discuss, but we're going over Carlos's great CSL Entertainment publications. I'm honored to be one of the a co-author in one of those, which is
Jay, I think you're more honored than that. You are the only right now person that's been a co-author besides the people that contributed to Hounds of Earth. You were the only person that's ever written a piece of Castle Entertainment. Every single other thing has been myself. Now that may change soon. I've got a lot of people who are interested in contributing or submitting stuff to us. But right now, you're the only guy besides myself.
Wow, that's amazing. That I didn't know that, Carlos, and thank you so very much for that opportunity. It's
man, it was my pleasure. I had a lot of fun doing that module, and you have always done such a great job of supporting us and making sure that that people know about our existence. Because when you're a small publisher like myself, getting the word out it's one of the most difficult pieces of the puzzle.
Absolutely. Definitely, and that's another reason why we're doing this discussion. I was like, Mike brought it up as a list in chat, and then I goes, oh, let's do that. I was like, okay, and
it's really fun. I mean, one of the good things about being a third party publisher, right, is when I was a kid, I used to read comic books a lot, and I always used to think to myself when I would read them, man, I wish they wouldn't have done this. I wish they would have done this instead with a particular character or anything like that. You have that opportunity when you're a third party publisher to kind of steer things in maybe a direction that you want to do. Now, what I do is Castle Hawk. Obviously I don't own the Greyhawk IP, so everything that you're going to read in my modules, you've got names changed to protect the innocent, so to speak, or to protect myself from being from sued into oblivion. But that also allows me to take characters or pieces of the canon that I like and develop them in ways that I think would be interesting for you guys, and for I read some of the fan theories and things like that and say, hey man, people seem to really like going in that direction. Let's do that and see, give them an opportunity to steer the campaign the way they want to steer it. So that's also a really fun part of being a third party publisher.
So we just had a question. Can you please link to me all the adventures Carlos has in Drive-Thru-RPG? And I said none.
Yeah. We don't do Drive-Thru-RPG. What we do is we go through our own website, castlentertainment.com. You can buy every single thing you want to there, whether it be just PDFs or you want to buy hard copies, or even if you just want to look at the covers or see what things are about inside of there. We've got a full description of everything in there that you can check out what we do. And if you're interested in it, buy it, or, email me and you can ask questions about individual modules. Like I get questions all the time like, hey, Carlos, I'm looking for a module for about guys that are about 5th level in this area. Do you have anything like that? And I can usually say, yeah, or I could say, no, I don't. But for my Patreon, I published this one and I'm going to give it to you for free because you're supporting the community and I'm not really, I feel like the people that support me through Patreon, I'm super grateful, but I also want that material to be used. So if people are interested in particular areas and they have, I have some Patreon material for that, I'm usually willing to give that up for free.
So also note that Carlos has his own code. So like if you're like, I want something in Keoland, or I want something in the Great Kingdom or whatever, the community knows, the community can help out, but Carlos can also help out. I can help out.
Yeah.
Cannon Fire people can help out.
The Rosetta Stone.
The Rosetta Stone. Also, there is, can someone link the Cannon Fire adventure map? Because a lot of Carlos are on there too. Yeah.
Somebody was so kind to do that. I want to believe that was Rich. Rich Longitellos did that. And I couldn't be more grateful for him for putting that together, because my modules are actually on there, and you can look at Cannon Fire and say, hey man, I want something set in Hepmona Land. Well, guess what? Carlos has modules set in Hepmona Land. So
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Michael, I was pleased as punch to see your Hemona Land, your South Seas map over there. I just noticed for the first time the rhinoceros in the bottom corner of it. That's on plains. That's on what I call the Cabrala Plains.
So we are. Thank you, Anna. We are doing 2 giveaways. We're doing a PDF adventure of your choice for Carlos's site, and a classic D&D reprint giveaway. So we have two different giveaways there. Anna, Mike, what questions do you have of Carlos while we have him?
Carlos, how long have you been doing your own modules now?
Yeah.
Well, I started in 2010, or excuse me, 20. Let's reel that back a little bit. Sorry about that. I started about 2015, I should say.
So 8
with
years.
With that Marquesa module, and I think I have 32 now total modules.
Nice
32.
body of work.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you. My modules usually range anywhere from about 60 to 110 pages. So there's a lot.
Yeah, I have a rather thick one here. The City of the Elder Gods. It's a weighty one.
Oh yeah, that one's one of the bigger ones. That one was actually Michael. You were the impetus behind why I wrote that. So I had to make sure that you got a copy of that one. Michael is a huge fan of Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure and Kurzit and all that stuff, and I really wanted to do something based on that. So
yeah,
Demons.
That's a high level one, isn't it? 10 to 12.
It is.
Yeah.
Rob Kuntz was a huge inspiration on my module aesthetic, on how I create things. About his advice to me was to make sure that everything always has a sense of wonder to it. Never make people feel like they're seeing the same thing twice. And so that's why you see a lot of custom magic items in my stuff, a lot of custom monsters and things like that, because I want people to see things and be shocked, or to be horrified, or to be or to find them sublime, or whatever it might be. I want magic to be magical.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
But yeah, Michael was a huge reason why that was written.
And for those of you who like Baba Yaga, this one's got a twist to it. So why don't you talk about the Witch Queen's Lament here?
Yeah, you know what? I was commissioned to write a module for GrogCon for their official module. And they did a naming contest. And Alan Growe from our community, Grow Dog, for those of you guys who know him, won the competition. And he suggested the title, The Witch Queen's Lament. Well, as a kid, I was always interested in Russia and Russian history. And as a matter of fact, when I was in college, my minor was literature with concentration in Russian poetry. So just like all of you, I'm reading the Dungeons and Dragons stuff this whole time in my, my life. And I know all about, Vasilisa the Fair and Natasha, a.k.a. Tasha, a.k.a. Igwalev, being Baba Yaga's daughters. Well, I come across this piece of Russian folklore in which Baba Yaga is described as having 3 daughters. And my jaw hits the table. I'm like, who's this third daughter? I've never heard of this before. So for about 25 to 30 years, my mind has been obsessed with this idea of Baba Yaga's missing third daughter. And so that adventure is all about Baba Yaga's third daughter, Anya the Plain, as it would be. But so I got a chance to write that one.
Yeah.
As their module, because Alan brought up Witch Queen's Lament. So I was like, okay, I'm getting to write something about Igwalev. This is my chance.
And we're getting close. We had some people who couldn't make it and all, and I wanted to go through and do this, 3-4 weeks in one sitting. I did the Prelude adventure for this already, but I promise, we will be streaming Thicker Than Water. All right, so awesome. It's coming.
Awesome.
It is
Thicker
coming.
Thicker Than Water is a favorite of mine because of all the various slave lords. I would have to say Slippery Ketum is probably my favorite. I don't consider Marquesa a true slave lord. I consider her own entity.
She's like the Dr. Mengele of the slave lords.
Yeah, she's kind of her own thing. But if you were just talking about the slave lords proper, she's probably was my favorite. So I had to write something with her.
Very cool. Anna, any questions for Carlos before he has to depart here?
What adventure was Anya the Plain? What is the adventure?
She's in the one that Jay just mentioned over there, which is called The Witch Queen's
G2.
Lament.
G2, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. The whole idea behind it is that there was a third daughter, and it was she was the last thing that Igwalev loved before she totally gave herself over to darkness. And so
Awesome
she
scheme.
retains the player characters to ensure her safety. And
Yeah.
I will leave it at that.
Okay, that's awesome plot. Thank you.
I actually got to use a little bit of some of James Jacobs stuff from Dungeon Magazine.
Oh,
You get to meet Igoliv at the beginning of it when she gives you the mandate to help her sister. So a lot of the parts of it from there, you'll get a chance to see, like her major domo that was in Dungeon Magazine number 149. You'll get a chance to see all that kind of stuff, reflections of it, her manor that is in Niflheim. So yeah.
So
it's fun.
Can we all in the community agree that Carlos and some of the other people out there publishing blow away anything that the actual D&D company could ever make?
In fairness to them, Jay, their hands are tied a lot. And also they have one failing that I don't, and that isn't to sound arrogant or conceited. What it is I have my finger on the pulse of the community. People talk to me directly and tell me what they want. I go to the Discord and I get to hear what people are interested in and things like that. Wizards just comes up with these things in a vacuum, and that's how you get known Bigby, right?
Right. Yeah.
For myself, I'm on a show like this, and I hear you guys talk in the audience and say, "Hey, Carlos, I need to see. You need to do something with Sebord Redbeard. I need to hear something about Linward the Spinner or something like that, whatever it might be." Right. I'm like, I file that away and I'm like, okay. And I never ignore any of that. All that stuff will find its way into my stuff one way or another. My friend Jeremy always talks about Castle Entertainment Modules as being this weird trip through my subconscious. And I guess it kind of is, in that all these things I hear that people are interested in, I'm putting it out there for you guys. So if you guys find a plot that you guys are especially interested, or an area of the world or whatever, let me know, because that's how I get my ideas, and that's how I get my inspiration of what I'm going to write, because I'm writing these for you. I write the adventures I always wanted to see and I always wanted to play, but I need them to resonate with my audience. And so when you guys tell me what you want, it's music to my ears.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos is usually at GrogCon every year. That's in Florida. He's usually the guest of honor there, right? And that's usually the first week in October. Then Greyhawk Con, Virtual GrogCon, which is right after that.
It is.
And then the St. Jude fundraiser, which is in February.
Yeah, I'll do the St. Jude fundraiser. I do my own fundraiser when I occasionally have the time to do them, which will be, I'm planning on doing another one not too far from now. Asher, if you're out there, I don't know. I can't see the chat right now.
I didn't see Dale on yet. Yeah.
I'm going to be doing this one probably for polar bears.
Oh,
so cool. That would be something you're probably going to be interested in. And you'll also see me at GaryCon.
Question from Gabriel about relaunching your Patreon.
Of course. Yeah. I'm glad somebody brought that up. We had a little bit of a weird bobble today as far as my Patreon goes. My Patreon was supposed to be relaunched at the top of November. We've pushed it back to January. There's a bunch of personal stuff I've got going on that I need to take care of. Mainly my family coming over from Australia. My wife's family, I should say, coming over from Australia to stay with us for about a month. So there's just too much busyness going on for me to support the Patreon right away. So I want to do it at the top of the month. Some of you guys were charged this month accidentally. The refunds have already been made, so don't worry about it.
It's so funny. I have to say, I was one of the people that were charged, and I don't think it was a mistake. I would have loved to contribute the $6, but I got the refund notification before I got the receipt from Patreon.
Yeah.
So it was so damn fast that it was kind of So that was amazing.
Yeah, the Merch Valkyrie. Amanda is really, really good at that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she was right on top of it, and she's you guys should, most of you guys that were charged should have seen it back. If you haven't, we've been in contact with you. And
that went so fast that it was kind of before I got the email that it was actually charged.
Yeah, like I said, she's really good at that. But yeah, the Patreon will be relaunched at the top of the year. It will, when it is relaunched, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to do a giveaway at the top of that for an 88-page setting supplement that I call Mount Felnarix, which is all
Nice.
about Mount Felnarix and the Aberrals, and it will give you guys lots of information about where felines and lycanthropes in general.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Very, very cool.
So look forward to that.
So anything in final closing? I know, Carlos, you got a bolt, so because you're
I
at
got it.
work.
I am, guys. Thanks for having me, Jay,
course!
so much, and get in touch with me about whoever wins, about what they
I
want.
will.
And,
I will,
and
what
we'll
they
make sure
want.
we get it to them.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the 2 giveaways tonight. And Carlos, thank you for hopping in here.
Right on, guys. And thank you
Thank
to
you.
the whole community, Michael and Anna as well. Thank you guys to the whole community.
Thank
You guys are the reason why I can do the thing I love. I never take that for granted, and I am humbled and grateful to you endlessly for your support.
Well, we appreciate everything you do in the community, Carlos, and thank you so very much.
Thank
for
you so
coming
much,
on.
guys, and have a great night.
Yep, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay.
So I got 12 of Carlos's adventures, including my own, of course. But it's a good thing. A good thing to hear from Carlos, and just to see I knew he could hop on only limited time. That's why we started early, just to get him, get Carlos into the discussion. So what we're doing tonight is we're going to talk about third-party publishers. Now, I've had a couple people say to me, "Well, aren't you scared that if WotC finds out about this, will start hammering down people?" And then what I said to him, I said, at this point, at this point, I don't give a shit what WotC does. Okay, I don't, because no one's done anything illegal here with content stripped out. Or go ahead, Anna. Yeah, your thoughts.
I was going to say we should probably talk a couple of minutes of how you could do this. There's 2 ways you can publish content legally for Greyhawk or any D&D setting, so to speak. You either do it by giveaway stuff, like I do in Patreon. You put it out there and you give it away, and then you ask for donations in order to do so. That's one way of doing it. And then you can't really put together products and stuff. But on the other hand, you can basically do whatever you want, as long as you don't directly use art and stuff. That has been, I shouldn't name any names, but there have been people that have been shut down because they directly used Wizard of the Coast intellectual property in the form of art and stuff like that. So there are rules, and you can go to fan creation policy. If you Google that, Wizard of the Coast fan creation policy, you go to a page where you can see all the rules on how you go about to do fan creation things, so to speak, in order to create anything from spells and just little tidbits to whole adventures, maps, art, and stuff like that are fan creations for D&D in its various editions. They have actually fairly liberal forgiving rules. So Wizard of the Coast when it comes to fan creation. That's one way of doing it.
Well,
the other way is that if you want to publish and earn commercially and earn money on it, then you need to go about it differently. Then what you need to do is that you need to file off the serial numbers, meaning remove any intellectual property in the form of names. Of course, no art, no direct references to. But yeah, thank you. They're
yeah, because I linked it. It's right below you on my site, everyone. Just okay. Yeah.
So that's the one I try my very, very best to follow that one. And so far, I haven't had any issues in over 10 years doing this. So yeah. So that's the thing, and the key thing with Wizard of the fan content policy is give it away for free. That's the thing, and don't charge money for it. That's the key bit, so to speak. And then there's a bunch of stuff you can use, and then there's a bunch of stuff you can't use. And it's listed there when it comes to logos and stuff like that. You can't put a D&D logo on it, and you shouldn't put a Greyhawk logo on it and stuff. But you can refer to content and names and stuff like that in fan creation policy. Yeah. I can call the city of Greyhawk or stuff like that. I can do that in fan creation policy, but I can't do it if I publish a module like Carlos does. Then I have to change the names and places and stuff like that, and call it something else, the city of Hawks or whatever. Hawksburg or something like that, Ygsburg or something. So if I want to have it, so I need to change the names a little bit. And in a way, you can when you read the later Gord books, that when Gary Gygax published them under New Infinities, he did a lot of stuff like that. He renamed things that was in the Greyhawk setting, but he called them different things. So that's the first kind of good example of how you can file off the serial numbers and still keep Greyhawk feel to it and all that.
Exactly. I wanted to
Yep.
share that this is here. If you have questions, Anna and I both know how to meander through it. Anna has her Patreon, and I have my Twitch channel. Okay, so we know what we're doing here, so that we, and we're both completely legit according to this policy. So if you have questions, just reach out to either one of us. We can help you if you're worried about fan content policy issues. So that's.
There are several other content. Alphastream.org is a site that Teo Zabadeo. He did that. So go to YouTube AlphaStream and search for fan creation policy. He did a series of videos on how to make money and become your own publisher, and he have a whole video on the content of this.
Thanks, Jeff.
And how the fan creation policy works. So that's so there are plenty of people that are legally scholared and stuff that are presented on this, but it's to be honest, it's not that complicated. They've written it in a simple way, and it's fairly straightforward.
I'm going to give you an example. This is not a Jay Gripe session, but hey, it's on my channel. So, Virtual GreyhawkCon. 4 years ago, we're getting it together, and someone in the industry, someone out there, Josh Zarathon, goes, don't call it GreyhawkCon. We're gonna have all sorts of problems. Call it Hawktoberfest. And I said, no. I had to use this. I had to use my No Just No emote on Josh 100 times. Whoops, I threw one in there, and I did the right thing. I sent WotC a letter stating I was going to do this, saying that the con is a community con, non-for-profit. Get a message back. We're going to escalate this immediately. Then I heard nothing back.
Yep.
And that was it. That was good enough for me.
Still escalating.
Still escalating.
It's still escalating. So
there's been 4 virtual GreyhawkCons. We've called it that. It's not a not-for-profit convention. They leave us alone. So, yep. There you go. So, and thank you all for getting this month kicked off here. So just note, there are just, if you write a module adventure about Morning King, you're gonna have some trouble. You know what I mean? But if you write, something out there and keep it generic, but people know where it is, or create a free download as a supplement to it, then you won't have any issues. So
meaning there are lots of Greyhawk bloggers. So if you simply do material you would use at your own game table, just put it online for general use, then you're usually in the clear. But read the fan creation policies, because there are a couple of little pitfalls, but not many, so to speak. That it's just that there are certain logos and stuff you should avoid, and things like that.
So we've gone through Carlos's stuff already, probably faster than we would have wanted to, because we had him on. But we got a lot of things. Now, I have compiled an entire grouping of stuff that I know is based in Greyhawk, even though it doesn't say it, and stuff you can use in Greyhawk that's third party. So, before I start spewing at my mouth here, let's start. Mike, give us something you love that's outside of a WotC publication that you may have played in Greyhawk or you use, or
that would have been Carlos's stuff.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So Will, I forgot Will's stuff. Oh
yeah, I have.
Oh
Will's.
My gosh, there you go. Well, let's discuss. Yeah. Let me bring that up. So let's discuss. So yeah. My bad. I knew there was shit. Don't you hate that? Because, Will deserve Ravens Rook. I'll bring it right up here. All right, here we go. Of course, it linked there. Now I got to move this down here. I got all these Ravens Rook PDF final. Yeah, I apologize, Will, if you're on. All right. So, third-party publication that is very recent, and he's given it out a lot on this show. UK7 Dark Clouds Gather is a TSR WotC publication, not third party, Rob, right? It's a great adventure. It may not be placed in Greyhawk, but it's not third party publication. I know I did almost the same thing too. I was going to talk about Gates of Firestorm Peak, and that's TSR/WotC publication. Yeah, I know it's tricky tonight. All right, so here's Ravens Rook. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, for being a Kickstarter, like I never do Kickstarters. That's literally
you
the only
never do them?
Kickstarter I've ever backed.
Oh wow.
And it was for Will primarily. And I also like I like it's his version of Rook Roost, kind of like a Carlos treatment of it. So that's the main reason I was supporting that. Have I got to use it yet? No, but I'm definitely proud of the effort he put into it, and he's got a really good like quality artist, and put a lot of work into it. You can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad I have a physical print copy of it.
I told him bring as many of these as he can to GaryCon to give to like Luke and give to some key people and say, hey, here, this is what we're doing in the Greyhawk community. This is what I've done. Take a look at it. I mean, I think that it would behoove him to bring like a dozen, and just start giving these out to some key people there to show what great stuff he's done. And thank you all for that hype train, the first of the month. Really appreciate that. Of course, I hit the D's nuts ones 3 times instead of the hype one because some of the standalone TLG CNC modules are sitting in us. They do, Rob, and we will definitely get to them. Absolutely, 100%. I love them. We will definitely discuss them. So a great one. We have Will on the show a lot, especially on Gabbins now, and he goes over a lot of things that's going on here. A lot of this was like developed in their when he had a Twitch channel, when he was running his Twitch channel, and they did a lot of adventuring there, and he really it's good to see what they've come up with. So I mean, look at that. That's just such a cool picture, just the angle from it and all. Just neat stuff in it. So it's a setting more than an actual adventure, but it's just like any city
grim,
setting.
dark fantasy setting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there you go on that, and a really good one there. Thank you very much for that, there, Mike. How about you, Anna? What do you got?
Well, since we're talking about Will, what he's done from Wicked Studios, that he's done another one. I don't have it in print. I only have it in PDF. Is the WS1, the Bone March Companion.
Oh.
It's a supplement for Bone March campaigns. It's an excellent one. It's a really good one.
I don't know if I have that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, I do.
Yep. Okay, good. Yep. So it's a really, really cool one. So now when I look at it, there's some potential heraldry stuff in there that I need to talk to.
Who said? Someone online said they wanted Beaumarch Justinius. There you go.
Yep. And this is also more of a source book than
right.
An adventure. It's not an adventure. It's a source book. And it has Knurl and a bunch of other stuff, so to speak. So, yep.
This has got to be a free because it's bone.
Where do you get that?
Yeah.
Let us. So this is what I'm going to do. Give me a second while we're talking here, and let me contact Will directly right now via Discord, see if he reaches out.
Yeah, and see, because I'm not really sure. I think Will gave it to me for some reason because I helped him with some fonts or something with this one because he used a Greyhawk font or something. If I remember, it rings a bell somewhere when I see it, but I might be mistaken, or I might.
All right, I sent him a message. Let's see if he responds. Yeah. So let's scroll through this real quick here and see how many pages it is. It's 35 pages.
Yep, 37 even. This. Yep, 38 with the if you count the title page and covers as well. Yep.
Yeah. So, and this has specific Greyhawk references into it, so it's fan content policy. Not for sale,
okay, good.
Because there's no way he could sell this.
No, it's exactly. This is a fan.
It talks about the fall of Spine Castle. So this has got some history.
And Knurl and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it also shows off Will, just like Ravensrock, Will's kind of multi-talented, meaning he's done art in it, he done text and maps and a whole bunch of stuff. He's damn good at a lot of things. So yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a link for that. Yep. Antiquars, thank you for doing that. So you're running Gary's Spinecastle module? Oh, that's awesome there, Greg.
Yep.
Are you doing it with your group, or are you doing it for community people? So this
So
is
that was my first one.
oh,
so
look
to
at that.
speak.
He's even got tattoos on here.
Yeah, exactly. That's that. Yeah. I can also see them as scarifications or burn marks or something, or tattoos. Yeah.
Why we gotta have Will back on to discuss this.
Oh yeah, it is awesome. So,
Yeah. So look, in the future, you can't do it next week. We have demographics, but we'll see if Will can come on in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And see if we can go over this. You know,
Yep.
instead of giving it short shrift and see what else he's got going on. So maybe we'll do that. And if we can't do it Wednesday, we'll do it on a Gabbin. So we'll do it on one or the other. But oh look, those look like gnomes. Is one of them Bigby? He's got a staff.
A big B gnome, yeah, with a dumb cone on top. So,
We're gonna live that down. Oh my gosh.
See, we are now.
I know it's part of the joke.
Forever with that big B gnome. Now we see big B gnomes everywhere. So yeah.
All right, look. Here's a cool map. There, that's a pretty neat map. Showing Neural, showing Spinecastle, Johnsport, Bellport. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, promise that we will keep you posted on this to get this out to the community. If Will wants it out to the community, I think. Does anyone besides Anna and I have it? Does anyone else out there have this?
I'm sorry if there's something that I shouldn't.
That's
talk
okay.
About.
That's okay. So
because I found it, I have
Troy has
a folder with a folder with Will stuff, and it
cool.
popped up there. So I'm like,
guys.
ooh, this is so cool because I know
we'll get it out to the rest of the community. Promise. Okay, just give us some time here to make sure we're doing the right thing by Will. Okay.
Yep.
Really cool. Wow, that's a home run, Anna.
That's a good one.
Excellent.
I have one more. We can
go
before we do home runs. Before Mike spoils it, I get a chance to show off someone on this show's awesome creations that doesn't get nearly enough credit, so to speak.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait until this.
There
this
you go.
This is a beast of a tome.
Okay. I'll have that.
It's this is a rarity. So Mike, please tell a little bit more about this.
I didn't think that was
Castle Greyhawk Absolute Edition. Go for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell. This is a super cool beast. I got one of the few printed copies. I don't know how many printed copies.
Awesome.
Because I did a little bit of help in the editing, putting together the graphics and stuff like that with this. So I got it in PDF and I helped out. I helped out with some technical help a little bit. But that was only like 0.1% in all the stuff. But there was a little bit of technical help that I kind of helped out in this. It's simply an awesome tome that is it's impressive. It's 302 pages.
Wow,
this is probably one of the thickest Greyhawk tomes of all the kind of all the Greyhawk books in the world. This is probably the biggest Greyhawk hardback ever produced. Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any other.
Was that the one with
Scott?
Scott?
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Scott Casper wrote it. I did the art.
That's awesome.
And if anyone ever wonders why I don't do any art, it's because that product right there burnt me out.
I'm wondering how. I bet you that is a collector's item now. I'm gonna see if it's ever on eBay or anything.
Probably only a few dozen of those floating around.
That's awesome.
How many years did you do these?
5 or 6 years.
Okay.
5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. What's the official name again, Mike? What's the official name of it again?
It's the Castle Greyhawk.
Absolute
Greyhawk.
Absolute edition.
Absolute edition. Yep.
Castle Greyhawk.
Yep.
Hardback.
Yeah, and it's these wonderful comics.
So
and then there's
Gabriel has one.
Okay.
If you're going to Gary Con, I'll bring it for you to sign it. Yeah, Mike's gonna be at Gary Con. Take it. He'll sign it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's some of the comments and some clarifications and text that explains the comics and put it in its context. Yeah.
Because it was a serialized webcomic, so there would always be some text and then the page. So it's almost like if every morning newspaper, you were reading Prince Valiant or something like that. So there's going to be some lead-in text and then a comic. And
Yep.
so to put it together in a book, that was never our intention from the beginning. But after looking over the body of it, Scott figured a way to put it all
Yep.
together into a physical format.
And then there's a whole chapter of text at the end with stories and stuff like
He
that.
did have a lot of stuff, a lot of writing. A lot of that was written well before I did art for it. He graciously adapted it like a graphic novelization of his novella that he wrote about Castle Greyhawk.
Well,
so good times.
That's a Herculean undertaking, 300 some pages, Mike. So, yeah, one day I will present Spine Keep. Send me your email, and excellent. So, good one, Anna. A good one. Yeah, I'm wondering if anyone has ever seen one of those for sale. All right, so I'm going to do this for Casey because he's not on. 5 seconds, because I haven't seen one of these in a while.
That was the next one I had.
Bandit Kingdom summary.
Completely forgot.
This is not an adventure. It's a summary of what happened during the Living Greyhawk era of the Bandit Kingdom. So he got sued, and they actually had WotC pull back the suit legally. It's just a synopsis of what happened. It's really cool. It's still available on Amazon. So you can get that.
Both at physical and it's available as PDF as well. And I must say it's a really good one. I wish there were way more stuff like this. This is the best Living Greyhawk. The only really good summary, and it's a really useful book for me. It's one of my go-tos, definitely.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm going to shout out another big named community contributor. We're going to go Joe Block. We've talked about these on previous events, but I got some here. All right. So this is really cool. If you want an introductory module adventure before you get to Hamlet, T0, Joe Block created Journey to Hamlet, which is neat. So it gives you, you go through the, oh my God, gnarly forest, right? My brain just shut off. So this is, and once again, it was a not-for-sale piece, I believe, and it's I think it's 0 to first level. So it is an introduction to the surrounding areas of Hamlet as you're going there. So that's a pretty neat thing to have. I believe it's still available on his site. And Joe always comes on the show every now and then, so I think we could ask him specifically if you can't find it on Greyhawk Ragnar's site. Then there's also this. I don't think I have do I have this one in hard up here? I do. This one is cool too. If you don't like the nodes, this is beneath the Temple of Elemental Evil. So this is T5. So this is also, Joe Block. And this one is what happens after T1 to 4, and you're like, what the heck are these nodes all about in this book? Well, this may be another way to go. So, changes that he made into Temple of Elemental Evil. You do recommend this? That's very cool. All right, thank you, BB. And then, Dungeon Level 5, which does not exist. You have nodes, but there is an adventure part after it, and with some monsters in this as well. We're talking about the tentacle rods are in here, and so something from Joe that you can pick up and just make changes to your TEE if you're running it. And thank you, Alex, for doing that, for linking that. That I would highly recommend. Excuse me. So. Some cool things. I got 2 more from Joe. Let me just start knocking these out here.
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this one is new. In fact, I saw another person did a review on this. It's called Pirates of the Erdish Main. Pirates threaten honest shipping all along the Erdish coast and along the Erdish Sea. So you got it's definitely stripped of Greyhawk, but it's Greyhawk content.
Cool. Very cool.
Can you overcome warring island sea monsters, pirates, and the other pearls of the high seas? So, very cool. And then there is a sequel, RP2, The Ghost of Harvin Half-Skull. And this one says from mid to high level characters. You can see it looks like a ghost ship. Harvin Half-Skull is the most feared pirate. No ship from any land was safe. And now the ghost of this fearsome buccaneer is once more sailing the Irish Main, leaving destruction in his wake. So there you go. Those are both by Joe Block, both easily adapted, usable in the Greyhawk setting. And I believe they are on Drive-Thru RPG. I believe that's where I bought them. So, yep. Lots of cool, lots of great things. For Joe's hardcover books are fantastic, especially the Book of Lost Lore, which can be found in Drive-Thru RPG. Yes, Alex, he's got a lot of. It's under BRW Games, if I recall, is the company that Joe uses on Drive-Thru RPG.
Yeah.
So, let's see where we are. I'll just bring that up for a second. Here's a placeholder.
Joe is definitely prolific. He does the third-party publishing. He does blogging. He does YouTube videos. He's quite.
Yeah, we could mention. I think one series that I think are really interesting for most Greyhawk players. He made a series of PDFs on the Bakloonish, where he revised the Baklooni pantheon in a way that I really like. Because I don't like Al-Akbar and stuff. It's too close to real world Islam and stuff. And I don't want to have that much real world. It's much more, I want my fantasy to be more fantasy, so to speak. And he did a good review of the Bakloonish pantheon. And he also added stuff to it that's really cool. You can find that on his websites that I hopefully have it's Greyhawk grognard.com. I'm just gonna see if I can. Hang on a second. I can. Here is the link to the. Oh, damn. Hang on a second here. Oh, anyway, it's greyhawkgrognard.com. So I'm going to put, here is the link to the T5 that he made, the Beneath the Temple of Elemental Evil too.
Good.
So I can take that in one go. That's where you can download the one that Jay talked about. And if you go to his what he has free resources, there is he also did another series. When we talk about what he did, he also did another series. Remember back in the early Dragons when Gary Gygax was still at TSR, he had these little updates what's going on in Greyhawk in the Dragon magazine. Joe Block did a bunch of new ones, additional ones but he talked about what happens in Greyhawk, and he made them so they look like they were made in Dragon magazine, so to speak. So they can be of interest to look into. So that's something I can recommend to look at.
Definitely, and what we're hoping is that you see something here. You're like, I didn't know about that. Like, I mean, most of you didn't know about that Bone March thing by Will, as one as an example. Probably a lot of you didn't know about Mike and Scott Casper's book because it came out 2017, Mike, 2018.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while.
Yeah, something like that.
So we're going to try and go over some things a lot you may know about, a lot you may not, and just discuss some options out there tonight and have some fun with this discussion. And like I said, it's all in the up and up, and nothing is violating. We won't bring anything. If anything was violating copyright, we would not show it or share it. So, yep. Mike, do you have another one you want to discuss?
I am totally bankrupt of any additional ideas here.
Okay.
I didn't even think of my own.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I mean, back to Joe Block though, when he was at GaryCon one year, he was he had a booth, and he was selling his own Adventures Dark and Deep RPG, which I think is a 2E clone. I had bought a couple of things from him there. Not that I was using the system, but it was like they were some game mastery accessories, like stuff with encounter charts and stuff like that, which I'm sure plug into Greyhawk or otherwise. So the guy's always thinking. I mean, awe of Joe Block sometimes.
Yeah, Joe. Like I said, Joe's a great resource for the community, and you know, we have those that are really doing stuff, and we want to. If you think of just Joe, Will, and Carlos themselves, look at all the content you can get from those three alone out there, which is really cool. So I want to show you all something
All right.
here of something that I don't see. I don't give away a lot of my trade secrets. I'm going to give this one away. So if you ever heard of my Gravemoor that Anna's placed on the map, and it's right here, okay? The Gravemoor, where
Such a sinister name of a
yeah,
town. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did rip it off though from a third-party publication because I loved it so
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
And we're going to share that with you right now. Now, if you all know about Lord Twal, TWAL, it's Walt mixed up, and all these other necrotic devices I've put into my games over the years. It all started from this adventure. The Barrow Mound of the Gravemoor, which is Expeditious Retreat Press. All available on Drive-Thru RPG. All Osric old school. I think there's like 35 of them. Different adventures out there. Yeah, so this was a good one. I like the idea of this. And I'm like, I'm putting a Gravemoor in my, just like I have the Mirror of Dead Men from Dungeon in my campaign too. On the coast of Keeland, because I love those 5 adventures. I like the idea behind this, and I was like, I'm going to put the Gravemoor in and have Anna put it on the map. And we're going to do other adventures beyond this one. So this was the only one that ever mentioned Gravemoor, but I probably had 20 adventures there in that area around it. So yeah, why not? Is that exactly right? I'm saying this is an Osric one, adventure I liked. Do I have down what number I ran this in? Let me see if I have this. Of course I didn't write that down. I got all these other ones written down what number it was, but it's got to be in the 400s. So it's we're over 1,000 now, so it's got to be that far back. And yeah, so just note this is a good company, Expeditious Retreat Press. Another good third-party company that I use that I've talked about is this Matthew Klein. He's on Facebook, but he's never. I've tried reaching out to him. This is Dungeons of Days Gone By Creations Edge Games. These are like $1.50 each. And there's a whole bunch of them on there. And there's some goofy ones. Like, I just recently ran Saving Pirate Orion. Okay. So, they made, but, excuse me, they do Goblin. They have some good stuff. So, I ran this one. This was another good one from them. I thought I had it on here. There was maybe I only brought that one up. There's another here's another good one, A Ring for the King by them, and they fit in the Greyhawk really nicely. They're generic. They're completely generic adventures. 1 or 2 page. If you do a search on Greyhawk Drive, you won't get these things. No, go to Osric. Go to the company. Go right to Expeditious Retreat Press. It's on the left, or go to Creations Edge Games. You'll see them. Search by the company, or search. They're all Osric / old school third party in there. If you go on Greyhawk, you won't find them. They're not Greyhawk adventures. So Will's Bone March post on his Patreon is set to be publicly accessible. All right, cool. That's cool, Rob. So once we get his permission, and if he sends me a link tonight, we'll put it right in chat. So we'll put that right in chat. All right. I got a ton more, but I don't know. What do you got?
First, I want to take another blog, and that is Von Malku in our community. He has an excellent Niron site where he details his Niron campaign and a whole bunch of stuff. So if you want to have inspiration for your Niron games and similar stuff, go to his site and take a peek. It's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, So I put the link in the.
That's not it. All right, so it's
no, I
Niron
like,
WordPress. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Right. NironWordPress.com.
I thought it would come right up. There it is.
Yep. So he has a bunch of stuff there. Speaking Niron these Niron graphics campaign, game masters and stuff. So he has written a more intricate story about history and stuff about Niron, then it's really cool. So there's a lot of inspiration for your Niron games.
And note that we had, if you want to go back a few, go to my Greyhawk Farm Local. We had Michael on to discuss a lot of this on a previous
Yep.
one. So, but he has a lot of links here. Look, Anna's
Yep.
number one. Yeah, there you go. By Kisser.
I
Anna's
bribed
one.
him.
I'm two.
I
Carlos
bribed
is
him.
three.
Yeah, I bribed him. He happened to be first as part of my sponsoring deal.
That's awesome. Yeah, a real good one there if you're into the Niron area or into anything on the eastern side of the map, unlike me. So it's a real good area to go. So let me see here. Good one, Anna. Shadow Moonlight. Okay. Let's see. All right. Wonders of. I'm going to try to see if Dale's going to hop on. I'm waiting to do the Necromancer game stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's go to the map here. And I've done this on multiple shows, but let's talk about this area here of the map, just to show you. We have Comray and we have Newbriar, and you're like, what the hell are those towns? I don't know anything about them. Well, what are they? Well, Newbriar is in this, and this is where we go into Castles and Crusades Troller Games, a definite third party. This was actually run during a Greyhawk Con as well by Chuck himself. I think it was number 2, Virtual Greyhawk Con 2. He ran it. Shadows of the Halfling Hall, really cool little adventure, low level, fits perfectly in an area, or it fits anywhere in where you want to abuse halflings, which is almost everywhere on Greyhawk, right? Halflings tend to, Elmshire is the most. Elmshire is the what's the most in Patton? What was the most conquered city of all? Palermo. Elmshire is the Palermo of Greyhawk, right? It's been abused multiple times. Well, Comray can be the same way. You think this is good there? Yeah, it's one of their best ones. I also Comray, the town falls into this as the second one in the area, which would be U2. And that's the next one done in the series, Verdant Rage. Now, here's what I like about this. You got to think outside the box, and it just so happened that it worked this way. This adventure, Verdant Rage, with what's going on in it, fits. And once again, Castles and Crusades, Troller Games. You can link this because of all the crazy druid stuff going on in it. If you're really, really ingenious, you can link that to this. You can link that to this. And I kind of did that in my game. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So, yeah. Yeah, Sam, a lot of these areas are hammered out by me, or by a lot of players, and that's a good thing. You got more detail in the areas as they go. Living Greyhawk did a lot to it, but this is Rob Kuntz, and Rob Kuntz has a lot of publications for your use. Where did I put them? These are just some of them ones. I don't know where I put the. All right. So here's one. This is a dual series. Cairn of the Skeleton King. All right. That's the first in a series. Then Tower of Blood is a sequel to it. Old school. It's written for Greyhawk. Okay. Now supposedly this was written, I believe, in the Great Kingdom. I'm moving it out of the Great Kingdom because I don't use the Great Kingdom. Here's another one. The original Bottle City, right out of levels of Castle Greyhawk. And this is for levels 8 to 12. Now, Alan Growe's run this a couple times at Virtual Greyhawk Con. So, really cool. And here's the map that came with it. So, look, you get the original Rob Kuntz maps in it. Now, if you say, where do I get these? Alan Growe still sells these. Usually you can get these at Gary Con, at Alan's booth.
Black Blade Publishing.
Black Blade Publishing, yeah. Another Rob Kuntz adventure. This one, Beyond the Living Room, another specific Greyhawk adventure. Yep. So there's a whole bunch that he has done. And then also, oh, I didn't bring that one up here. Just recently, you can turn this campaign setting into a series of adventures, The Return of Roblar, which he talked about on the Gavin just about a month and a half ago. So third-party publications, The Return of Roblar, Rob Kuntz. And notice, this is brand new, and he's using Roblar, and he doesn't care. He says his lawyers have determined that they don't own the rights to the name Roblar. So I'm staying out of that one, right, Anna?
Mhm.
I'm going to stay away from that one, but note that Rob is doing some really good stuff for the community. So let's see what we got here. Kit Bash works well. Just use it. Yeah, Armin, that's the thing. Take it and use it however. Shadows of Heaven closed before. All right. I know a lot of these areas are hammering up. I'm talking to myself. I apologize. Really, some neat things that Rob has done. If you want the penultimate of all of them, find yourself this. It's still, once these are out, they're gone forever. This is like $100, and that is the entire El Rajaki archive. I got it. I just got it just recently because
I got it at GaryCon last year.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, which this is going to be gone shortly. Yeah, and how many people have CDs on their computers now?
There is a USB version. I bought that.
Oh, okay,
that
cool.
You can get it on the USB instead of
My
DVD
machine
and
downstairs
USB.
has one, so I can always transfer that around and above. So, yep. Probably find resources, rank measures, Aquaria, which is part of Grail. Yeah, that's true too, Alex. We got to really sit down with Frank, Alex, at the con, the first weekend in January, because he's going to be the main guest of honor there. I'm only a little minor one, but yeah. So Frank is going to be there. We should really have a nice chat with him, see if we can get him on the show. Shall I continue? Shall I continue with all? I got a ton here.
I can take one.
Go for it.
I have a bunch of stuff here too,
Please.
but I'll take one that was, it's old. This one is from 1991.
Wow.
It's Palladium Books.
Oh, Palladium's awesome.
Palladium Books presents the Compendium of Weapons, Armor, and Castles. In the 80s, Palladium Books came out with a lot of little small things. One that was weapons, armors, and castles and stuff. And in 1991, they put them together in one thick book. This book is like since 1991, meaning it's 30 years old. It's still a damn good book. And it's hold up well after 30 years. It's not mechanics wise. It doesn't have any D&D mechanic. This is if you want to know how real world stuff that ties into fantasy, from weapons, armor, equipment, tactics, castle building, armor, meaning how real medieval armor made and stuff. This book is surprisingly cool. And remember, when I got this, there was no internet, and the local library didn't have much. So this was a Bible for me, probably, for at least 10 years until the internet came about and became the news source for stuff like this. And especially the castle part is really, really cool. It has like 50 castles with layout and descriptions and stuff. And it has at the end
about that.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy.
At the end it has another really cool stuff. It has siege weapons, and not only siege weapons, and not only that, it has a chapter on laying siege. How did they do sieges back in medieval times?
Can you link that in chat, the title, or tell the title, because people are asking?
Yeah, I'm going to find it because I found this as PDF on Drive-Thru-RPG. So I'm going to find the link because you can get this. It's been out of print for decades probably, but you can get it as a PDF for like some. So I'm going to.
So I'm going to share with you, because Anna did that, something I just recently got about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, from RuneQuest, because I was interested. And this is from 1985, and Monster Coliseum. So arena combat and chariot racing, because I was interested to see what the rules were they had for chariot racing, Because it's one thing I haven't done. We've done jousting, we have done combat in the arena, but we just have never done chariot racing. So they do have an Arms and Armor book. You're right, M5 coming out absolutely. So there you go. This is by Avalon Hill, believe it or not. So just saying, I got this a while back just to check it out. So
yeah, there's the link to the Palladium
Awesome.
Compendium of Weapons, Armor, and Castles. It's $12.50 as a PDF.
Oh wow, that's not bad. $12.50.
No, it's not. Yep.
Very cool. Excellent. Anna, Mike, what else do you have?
I have a bunch of books. We've talked about them, but I want to talk about them again a little bit. We talked about them on Gabbin when we had Troll Lords and talked about Gygax stuff.
Okay.
That and so I think they're a reason to start talking about them again a little bit. And there's a couple of them that I think are there's a bunch of them. And Gary Gygax not only wrote Greyhawk stuff, he wrote generic stuff and wrote a series of handbooks of like how to create stuff in fantasy.
What's that title say?
This is Gary Gygax Living Fantasy. And this is a series of basically ideas on how to create a fantasy society, on how it goes about and how you can do it. Everything from small communities, large communities, pantheons, and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's really cool to see it. And another one that I think is really, really cool is this one, The Extraordinary Book of Names, that he did. And this one is even in this day and age of name generators, I must say this one must have 50 or 100,000 names in it.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, and you have medieval Italians, you have, and not only names, you have titles, group names, and a lot of and you have weird things. You have military units and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So and pronunciation guides and stuff. They're mainly taken from ancient and medieval real world, but you can use it for a lot, so to speak.
Cool.
So I think it's a good one. That there's a couple of there were a couple of other ones. He made here they are. There's 3 more that goes with the other one. This one is a little bit of the Canting Crew. This is mostly about cities and how to build cities and guilds and underworlds and stuff like that. And from the guy who wrote up City of Greyhawk, it's kind of, this is a cool. It's Gary Gygax, the Canting Crew or Chanting Crew. I think it's the Canting Crew, and and then there's 2 other ones, and it's the Gary Gygax World Builder, and then it's Gary Gygax Nation Builder. These came out early 2000s, something like that, and then they were out of print, and then they were caught up in that after Gary died, they were caught up in his trust or whatever when Gary passed away. Now they hopefully going to be reprinted or maybe even republished as PDFs and stuff. So hopefully these will be available again because they're really cool and useful. And that show off a little bit of the other side of Gary. And in some ways, I think this is where Gary really shines, like the Book of Names and stuff like that, even more than writing adventures and stuff. So
true,
yeah.
Sparky and Rob, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, I have one here that for years has been a na moment, right? And it's going to stay that way. Unless you can find a rare copy of Vortex issue number 8, which I have here somewhere. It took me years to find this thing, right? So there you go.
Oh,
right, and this is the ever mysterious Hidden Temple of Erythnol, right? By David Wonder, which is actually placed in Greyhawk, and this came out in 1993. Hirschberger at Gary Gen Con 20 random note. Gary got a few times to come in vendor desk. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, please do. Yeah, second edition. This is a second edition printed adventure. There's specialization in here, dual class characters. No, this is not Spine Castle. This is in. I'll show you where it is. It's in the Swiss Forest. There you go. Not far from Altamira. Okay. It's up there. There's the Hidden Temple of Erythnol. Close to the border with the Principality of Ulick. But that is where the Hidden Temple of Erythnol is. They ran from it. It is pretty nasty. It is nasty. Dual, specialty priests are in here of Erythnol, and dual class humans are in here. They really go at it in this one. So he does. But I ran this live stream in the high 800s. So it's been a couple years, but I ran in its entirety. It was tough to do. So, yep. Swiss Forest near the Lost City. Well, it's anything near anything in the Swiss because it's so thick and dense and dangerous. So that's where Anna placed it right there. It could be anywhere in that vicinity. Now, when you look on this on the Cannon Fire map, because Rich, didn't read enough, he places it over near Dreadwood, which it doesn't belong there. It specifically says that there's a kidnapped merchant who got caught in the Swiss right in the adventure. So, yeah, it belongs right here, and that's where it's placed. It's on my map, and that's where it belongs. So, yeah. So what did Greyhawk Online link? So Greyhawk Online put it up. All right. Well, that good that he did that, Geek Puppet. I didn't give him permission to do it. Not at all. So they did that on their own on Greyhawk Online, putting that adventure up. So there you go. You can all download it right off of Greyhawk Online site. But it's a cool adventure, and there it is. But the hard copy is in this. There's only 9 issues of this ever made. So one of my prized possessions there. And that's a cool one. Let's get into some of my Wall of Fame ones. You got a ton of Judges Guild adventures that you can use all over the place, including I know Janelle Jack Ways has been doing well. I think she has some health issues, serious health issues.
Yeah, she had something. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Dark Tower, this is within the 30 greatest adventures of all time, right? Combine that with one that that Alyssa did a huge map on at one point in the future, and that's Teagle Manor's another great one. These are old Judges Guild adventures. Note, Dark Tower is on my map here.
It's on the public map too.
Oh, you put it on this public map too?
Yeah, I think it's on the public map too. Yeah,
there it is.
Up there. Yeah.
So it's placed up here in the no man's land north of the Duchy of Ulick. All right. What else we got? I'm holding off, but I'm just gonna have to do Necromancer Games stuff too.
I can take one that is from Necromancer Games that I think we
go ahead.
That is really cool. And it's the Tome of Horrors, not the Tomb of Horrors, the Tome of Horrors. I think there were 2 of them, and I think I have 2 of the other ones sitting up there somewhere. So these were monster books that came out probably about they did D20 system, but they were late in the D20 gluts. So they were in the just when 4th edition came out, and these are they're 3rd edition books, compatible books, but you can convert them to almost every edition, and they are simply smack full of interesting monsters and interesting variations and stuff of monsters of all kinds, especially a lot of fiends, fae, and weird ones. So
that is a book I own.
Yeah, yep. They had it in multiple editions too. That's not. Yeah, I have a Cobalt Press one there. I'm going to show you in a second there, Dave. Yeah, these are Necromancer Game ones. They came out at one point. They were re-releasing them in Pathfinder and 5th edition and Swords and Wizardry. So old school. Cool. Yeah, they have all 3.
Awesome.
Because I have the Tome of Artifacts, the Book of Artifacts, that real thick blue one downstairs on my shelf. Yeah, that's another good one. They brought out some really good stuff. Look, I have it right here. Look, David, I got it right here.
Yeah. One we can mention one from them too, from Sword and Sorcery Relics and Rituals.
Oh yeah.
That's another one that is good.
Anna, that's like a Bible for me.
Yeah, yeah, these are good.
Welcome
And
Rituals, Welcome Rituals 2, Welcome Rituals Excalibur.
yep, lots
Without
of cool magic and yep,
without them, I couldn't have made the Shadow Mage class, and I couldn't have
yep,
made some other things. And there's a lot of magic items and tattoo magic. My
yep,
tattoo magic from my
mhm,
game is from that book.
yeah. So yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
highly recommendable. There's another company,
That's Necromancer
Pen,
Games, Sword and
yeah,
Wizardry. That one.
Penumbra, that I'm not really sure what happened to. It's Atlas Games.
Penumbra.
So I don't think they publish for D&D and stuff anymore, but they
Oh,
did. They had a
I'm not sure
Penumbra
about that.
by Atlas Games, and this was in the period of the so-called D20 glut. That was in the early in the heyday of third edition, and this one is occult lore. And this is a bit like relics and rituals. It's kind of fun. Look into it and take inspiration from it, and you can. There's a lot of little cool symbols, and this one has plenty of character options and magics and monsters and stuff. So it's one of these things. If you get stuck somewhere and you want to have a little bit of inspiration, I really discovered this one now when I'm digging into old Flan stuff for my Shield Lens campaign. So I'm going to look into this one again, so to speak. So occult lore.
Will's got me an issue. Okay. It's a Patreon right now, but it's free to the public. I'm going to see if I can link this, and then you guys can go to town on the Will Bone March here. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this works. That did not work. 1 second. Copy text. See what happens here. Paste, paste, paste. All right, see if you can, if that any of that works. If you want the Bone March Compendium, okay. And that was his post. Let me just thank him. Dark Wizard, Arcanum is a great third-party resource. It's Arcanum was out a long time ago. If I recall, some of my guys were using that because there's a lot of third-party classes in that. If I'm thinking of the right one, yeah, it's black. The main book's black. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Rob, for doing that too. All right, so some others. Now, this originally came out in Dungeon Magazine and by Wolfgang Bauer. It was called Kingdom of the Ghouls. Well, here's Empire of the Ghouls. Probably the only Cobalt Press book I own, but it is huge. Now, I think it's in 5e only, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
It is 300 and some pages. Lots of good.
But that's a cool one. You can place that in Greyhawk and tweak it a little bit. You need to weave it into your story somehow, and that is definitely possible to do.
It's a lot of ghouls.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of ghouls. Yeah.
Oh, cool. M5. I did not know that. Well, if you ever find a link for it, let me know, and then I could probably put that up there. Here's another one.
That's a good one. Freeport.
Here's Freeport. So Freeport, and it's by our. Look at all the big names that wrote in this. I mean, names know. And, this is Chris Pramus, but Schwab, Owen Casey Stevens. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's nuts. All the people they had. Zeb Cook, additional material in here. And we all think this should be in the Lordship of the Isles. Is that correct?
Maha. Or hang on a second. It was the
popular opinion.
Yeah, you can. It's the when we looked at it, the Mahan, the city on Canode Island in the Lordship of the Isles. There is a large town city called Mahan, or large town. You can make that into a city, and that one would be perfect for that setting. To simply, if you want to use the Greyhawk name, then call it Mahan, and you can go. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
That is a recommended spot for that.
Yeah, by Chris Pramus. Yep.
Yeah. So it is I got it PDF only. I don't have it in.
Yeah, I think I have it. Only have PDF of it too.
Yeah.
I don't have it in. And that was in the Pathfinder era of.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know
I
if this
know
was.
I saw it at Gen Con before.
Yeah, when Pathfinder ruled the waves. Yep.
Yeah, this is Pathfinder 1E. I don't know if they made
Yep.
this in 5E at all.
I'm
but
not sure if they've converted it again. Yeah.
Yep. So, but another good third-party publication for you all
Yeah.
to utilize. So I haven't hit Necromancer game stuff yet, really. I'll go over some here. I know there are some of you out there that are thinking of using this for the Passage of Slaughterton.
Okay.
In that area, the Caverns of Thracia, right? So I know Tim has the original of this. He has the blue covered original of the Caverns of Thracia. I have the which I think is the third edition reprint. Look at that! And it was Janelle Jackways and James Culler who did this. So, and it was third through eighth level adventure. It was originally done by Judges Guild. What's up, Stronghold? And re-released. So that's Caverns of Thracia. We also have some others that I recommend that I have run. That I placed in Greyhawk, a lot of those. So this is by Mike Merles. I discussed this with someone just recently. The Siege of Durgam's Folly. Mike Merles did this in the early 2000s for Necromancer Games. And I have it, if we go to my map here. That was it. Okay, Armin. Sorry, man. My brain's mush. I should have remembered that. If we come here to my Greyhawk map, there's Durgam's Folly right there. It's in Order of Ulick's stronghold now, along the road up to the Drake Estate and up to Walworth's Crossing, which is like, it's like they got almost like an isthmus of control that they have running out all the way up to Homer's Hold, which is contested right now, and that is in my Shieldlands. But yeah, Durgam's Folly is there. They released a 5e version of Freeport. Okay, they may have done that. Thank you so very much for letting us know, M5, on that. All right, so that's a cool one as well from Necromancer Games I've used in Greyhawk. Necromancer. This I just talked about online with someone. Trouble at Durbanford. This is a mega adventure. I ran it pre-live stream. And I think it took us almost a year to run. Oh yeah, it's a hardback. I should have brought it down. It's a hardback book. It's a hardback book. Yeah, the picture you see is not till the very end.
How many pages?
It's got to be 100 to 200, 150 to 200 pages at least. It's a
That's
thick hardback
one.
book. Yeah. And once again, when Anna did her original transition of the map for me in my Greyhawk. Here's Durbanford. There it is. It's on the map. Added into the Grand March, which I always thought was milk toasted area anyway. So we put it in that. We put it in that area. It's a cool adventure. It's cool. It's third edition. It was easy for me to convert back to first second. But it was a good adventure. If you want an entry level adventure, I always recommend this Crucible of Freya. This is like the first one they ever came out with during that era. Look, Bill Webb even wrote it. So this is really cool. First and second level. You can get this pretty cheap. I guarantee you can get this for a few bucks on eBay. The Rainbow Mage, yes. You ran Hall of the Rainbow Mage. Amy, I prepped that like 3 times. I've prepped it like 3 times, and we've never run it because it reminds me of a. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it here. Let me just type in Rainbow Mage. Here it is. Yep. A quasi-elementalist in my game. All right. Hall of the Rainbow Mage. Level 7th to 9th. The Rainbow Mage is missing. Where'd you place it, Amy? Love to know where you placed this in Greyhawk. I was thinking northern. I was thinking Bissell or northern Keeland for this. Oh, that's see, that's good to see that you did that. You just put it near divers. Okay. So near divers means free undy, right?
or federal bank, or yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And
still yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Very cool. You
Oh,
put it in
in the
gnarly. Okay.
gnarly.
All right.
Yeah.
Northern gnarly. Nice. Yeah, that's another good one. Uh, the best one that a lot of people discuss for them. Uh, let me get to this. I thought it was great. I don't know if I have it in PDF here, but let me check because I may spell it wrong and then it won't come up. I always like showing. Yep, I do. Tomb of Abasthor is unbelievable. It's an awesome, awesome series by them. Really a good adventure. Another long one. They don't do anything short in their games. So, um, and this has a penultimate ending. This reminds me of Expedition to the Ruins of Greyhawk on its momentous nature. There are
Wow.
there are semi artifacts or lesser, super powerful magic items like Wave and Whelm would be that are in this game that are like the Star of Terror that's still in my campaign. Characters are still wielding these weapons that they got in this adventure, which I found really cool. Yeah. Excellent there, Alex, for linking that. I really liked that one a lot for a third party. All right, let me see what else I got here that I haven't. Okay. So, what else? Anna, Mike, do you have anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, I have one that
Please.
was written by David Zeb Cook and Wolfgang Bauer that I
Oh,
liked. It's published by Green Ronin in
Uh-huh.
2002.
oh,
It's part of the D20 glut. I bought a lot of it, and the reason I bought a lot of books back then that was that a lot of these source books that was not adventures, and you kind of seen a theme
yep.
here. I haven't published it's hardly any. I talk about source books of various kinds because that's what I love to read and get into. And this is the Secret College of Necromancy, and it's a really cool
Oh,
one.
wow.
It has a ton of necromancy deep dives into. So
What edition is it?
monsters, it's D20, so it's 3.5 or third edition. So I think it's original third edition, not 3.5. It's original third edition. So it's a D20
I may get
system.
that.
So yep. So it's it's really cool. It has a lot of spells and also a bunch of cool monsters and stuff like that. So it goes into a lot of cool depth, and then it has a bunch of necromancer NPCs, so personalities of the college, and you can find them with all their nasty habits and stuff like that. So this is a good one for inspiration of deep dive into necromancy.
Let me throw you another necromancy one. I don't have it in PDF, but I have the book downstairs.
Yeah.
This is Sword and Sorcery, which is Necromancer Scarred Lands, and that's Hallowfell, City of Necromancers.
Oh,
This is really
yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
I've
really
never heard of
cool.
it.
So they had a Scarred Lands, which is their own setting that Sword and Sorcery brought out in 3.0 early on.
Yeah.
So and they were really cheap to get for a while on eBay and even Amazon. You could get these books. But yeah, this is Hallowfaust. It's kind of a neutral city of necromancers. They're not evil. But they got all sorts of bizarre rules about what happens when you die. Your body becomes property of the state. Really crazy stuff. So, Scarlands, you ran that, Greg? Okay. Did you have this?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of these Scarland books because I could get them for like $3. Not this one, but this one's pretty thick. But a lot of the adventures and a lot of the setting things, because you don't know where you're going to get inspiration from. But I can see this, using this for a necromantic city at some point. Who wrote that other book, Anna? Did you say Zeb Cook? And
Yeah, and Wolfgang Bauer.
thank you, Alex. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Before they
Published
had
by Green
Ronin.
Ronin. Yep.
Wow. I may have to get that. Very cool.
Maybe you can get it. I'll see if you can.
Yeah, this Halifax one is Frost one's really good, and I'll have to share it at some point. Really a good one, really neat. So, um, let me see if I missed anything. I know we're spitballing it here now because we had Carlos on first thing. We were actually on like 10, 15 minutes early.
Question:
Please.
Is Goodman Games, the stuff they do, is that third party or is that second party?
It's third party. It's third party. So Goodman
Aren't they licensed to do that Greyhawk stuff?
They were, but they have a ton of old school and third edition publications. That, let me see if I have my adventures folder for Goodman. I'll bring that up. Just give me 1 second here, because office script here. Adventures, Goodman games. So there's some really good Goodman games. All right, here we go. This is awesome, Mike. Great bring up for this. This isn't. Yeah, please, of course. This is called Saga of the Witch Queen. This was really awesome. I ran it. As you can see, it is an old school special 1E edition for Gen Con 2007. On the site.
I post a link to third edition era PDF mega bundle from Greed Ronin.
Oh, cool.
I think it's in that mega bundle because I got an instant hit on Drive-Thru RPG. It's not listed. It's listed at there's like more stuff, and there's like hundreds of different titles in it. It costs $30, and it's a gigabyte of PDF. So it might be in that one. I can't guarantee it though. Yeah.
So, it's Anthony Huso. Okay, yeah. Let me bring that up real quick there in a second. Thank you there, Justinius, for doing that. I know he's published a lot. So yeah, this is a really
it's in the mega bundle. It's on the title picture of the mega bundle. So yep, that's why I got a hit. I looked at the title picture, so it's there. So it's inexpensive, but you get a bunch of other stuff.
Not that one. I have a bunch of these on my machine here,
Old blue maps.
Yeah, I said this is a fantastic adventure. It's only for 4th level. You can place it almost anywhere in Greyhawk. The Witch Queen is a typical insane whatever she is. Does some really awful, disgusting things, from what I recall, and it was a really, really good adventure, and it was only 4th level, and it made them. It was challenging for the party. I must have. I don't think I have it written down when I ran this. It has to be not 20 years ago, but 15 years ago. I ran this when it came out. So a good one, Mike, on Goodman Games. There's some really good stuff. Mm-hmm. I really didn't like when they stopped making the old school stuff and it just went to 5th edition, but that's where the money is, right?
And that's what I'm referring to. The 5th edition stuff seems to be licensed to me.
Yeah, you mean the reprints of all the the reprints of you know what, I have this. I don't know why. You know why I bought this? I got this on sale for Amazon. I can't believe I'm bringing this out because you guys are going to all laugh that I did this. I think I got it for $25. Give me 1 second. I got this because I may one day give this away or do it for a fundraiser. It's not even opened. All right. This is the original Temple and the 5th edition Temple all together.
Ditto.
You have it not open too. I got it because it was like, oh, what a great deal, So
I use it as a bookend. Keep my graph book together.
I use it to stack all my Lord Kazamba cards, business cards on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it was so inexpensive at that time. Now I know they've done Keep on the Borderlands. They've done a whole bunch of other ones. Yeah, they get the license and they re-release them.
Yeah.
So I think it was $25 I got it for. It was really inexpensive at the time. It was one of those where it goes way down. You're like, oh my god, you're just browsing, scrolling, and you're like, oh my god, that thing's like $50 off or whatever. and I picked it up. It looks like Mike and I had the same thought. Yeah, you opened yours, Rob? Yeah, I kept it sealed for the time being. Why not? Why not keep it sealed? All right, so wait a minute. I got to try and 1 second here, because Greg. Let me do something for Greg here. You may hear a double sound real quick. I got to go on, put mine up here, and then we're gonna go to the link. Okay.
Yeah, Amy, I was real tempted to get the Barrier Peaks one because I had, unlike all the others that Goodman Games has reprinted, I have not ran that one. So I thought maybe that would have some value to me, but then I'm really turned off by the enormity of it.
The Blue Bard, Anthony Huso. So, and he's like almost a little younger than me, but he's done some adventures. Here, let me go to products. What do you recommend there, Greg? You tell me. So he's got. It looks like he's got a lot of things out here. I don't know. I don't know. You almost don't know. Give me one. Give me one you recommend. Any of these right here in this publish area? Give me one you recommend. I'll look at it. City of Brass. So he did a City of Brass as well. All right. Now the question is, how do I find it on here? I was hoping it would work for me. I'm looking to see if any of these. Is that the most Greyhawk one you think? Here, the City of Brass Appendix Digital. I'm just trying to figure out which one would be. Here's Castle of the Silver Prince. So it looks like he's supplement for first edition RPG gaming. Well, look, so he's doing old school stuff, which is cool. So the Orcus one is most Greyhawk. All right, I love Orcus. What's it called? Got a lot here. Fabled City of Brass. There's City of Brass again. Someone Fall. Dream House of Another Prince. Is that it? Probably. It looks like Orcus on there, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Cool. First edition, the first layer of the best only characters, 14th level. Instead of resting Iron Fortress of Orcus, Prince of the Undead, the dream house from which he travels into the astral plane. Cool. It only came out 3 years ago, so that's it's not that old either. Wow, hardcover. You can still get that in hardcover. See again. Oh, I wanted to show it bigger. Good artwork, neat stuff. I appreciate the Alan Grohe sells these for Black Blade. All right, so you can get them at GaryCon if you're going to be showing up there. Very cool. I'll take a look. Excellent, and thank you for that recommendation. Very, very cool. So, what's the question with Scotch Jeff? Troll Lords. So, with Troll Lords working with you in Altamira, is that considered third-party Greyhawk? So, yes and no, because what will happen is it's going to be placed and aired, but we'll make sure somewhere there's a conversion, which will be easy. It won't be that. You're right, Anna? For Altamira. The question out there was from Scottish Jeff. So with Troll Lords working with you in Altamira, is that considered third-party Greyhawk? You may already spoke about it, but no, we didn't talk about it at all. But
yeah, I guess they could be like Carlos. It could be considered third-party Greyhawk. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So there are only two. Like I said, there are only two things. There are two things in the entire that I can find that names are taken, and that's Ulick and what's going to happen tomorrow night. So please watch tomorrow night's stream, and you'll see a term that I'm probably going to have to change, and you probably know what that is. It's an organization of halflings and gnomes and stuff. So that'll be fun tomorrow night. We have the All-Star game. But all right. What else do we have here? Anything as we wind down, Mike?
How many products come out of Lens Archive?
Well,
there is good.
That are printed?
Yeah, I'm haven't kept up track of number.
Well, we have these now, right?
Yeah. I'm
So-
linking them to yeah. We only have
In
2
print.
that are available on the Lakofka archive webpage that is on my site, but there's more coming.
More to come.
Yeah, more to come. So I put that in. We have the LAA 1, the Lighthouse, and then the LA 2, Devil's Dung. But there are more.
There are
is
more coming, correct?
Yep, more coming. They're in editing and playtesting right now, I think. Yep.
That's fantastic. And note that on Dragon's Foot, he had the Croton series. He had L4
Oh, hang on
and
a second. We
L5
have
on
the
Dragon's
yeah.
Foot.
Yeah.
We
Um,
have the hang on a second.
yeah,
Yeah.
for Leonard. So we do have more from him. Yeah. So we've shown a lot tonight, just bouncing around. I mean, there's a ton of content out there that can really get you started. In beyond just there's the A series, the G series, Temple of Evil, Salt Marsh.
And we have to now when we talk about what Troy is doing, we have to mention
Mhm.
the Gulf of Gayar,
Right.
Gazetteer. That is one of the best fan
awesome.
creation stuff for Greyhawk period,
Mhm.
bar none. It's just fantastic. It's basically like the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, but for the Gulf of Gayar and that's like the western. You talk about Bakloonish West when you read the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer and the earlier published Greyhawk. They're talking about the Bakloonish West, but that's seen from a Flan perspective or from a Flanese perspective. The Bakloonish West, because that is actually the Bakloonish East, but the Gulf of Gayar talks about what is really the Bakloonish West.
It's true.
What is the western half of the Bakloonish Basin, or that used to be the Bakloonish Empire and stuff. So that is they talk about the forgotten part of the Bakloonish that is not mentioned in the early books in the Greyhawk published lore. It's hinted at, but it's not really
Very
mentioned.
hinted at.
Yep.
There is hundreds and hundreds of stuff that is stripped of Greyhawk content, or you can easily place in Greyhawk, or that is another setting. I mean, I've taken Forgotten Realms stuff and pulled it right into Greyhawk, and I've said this multiple times. If you from the dungeon magazines alone, I took those Mirror of Dead Men, and I haven't had any because we haven't done an edit in a while, but right here is down in the border down here near Gradsoul. Right there is where that Mirror of Dead Men's going in my game.
It's on the official map, but it's not on your map, I think.
You already put it on the map?
I think so. Hang on a second. I think so. Yeah, persnickety. Yeah, but you see, your map is behind the published. The published map is.
Yes, because I got so much of this, so many things on it that we'll have to have a sit down at some point in the near future. But
well, we need to when I've done with the GPS version, we will make you a GPS version.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What other questions does the audience have there? We've gone over a lot of stuff, bounced around a lot. Even I have been surprised on some of the things that I even had that I didn't even realize it, like Will's. The one thing I'd love to get a hold of is somehow get Mike's hard copy. I know that's going to be extremely difficult, but I'll see if I can maybe when I'm at GaryCon, I can try and barter with someone.
Get a hold of Scott, see if he'll do another run.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point too. I've taken Harn and Ice Merp stuff from my Greyhawk too. Gary? That's blasphemous. But cool. That's really cool. Let's be honest. How many of us have taken... You got whites, right? And have just made barrow whites and put them in Greyhawk. I'm not talking about sword race or whatever. Taking a barrow white from Middle Earth and throwing it into your Greyhawk. Of course I've done that because they're really nasty. And so, can you make a bullshit? We've all done that. We've all taken... ICE stuff is unbelievable. Yeah. If you can get, they are super expensive now. Those original Middle-earth role-playing ones, thank you, Burngale, are really, really expensive, but they are so fantastic. I think the Angmar book is awesome. They're really some great stuff. So, and you can get some real inspiration from those publications. A lot of GURP stuff for cultural flavor. All right, cool. Yep. I didn't even know they had GURPS Robin Hood. That's neat. It's just
Wow.
like Welcome Rituals Excalibur, which you know, it's not Robin Hood, but Excalibur book has got some pretty good stuff in it. A lot of spells I use in my campaign to this day. So, well, what a fun discussion. I think the point being, just because something doesn't sell a million copies doesn't make it true. That is so true. And note that the third party publishers like Carlos and Will and Joe Block and anyone else who's publishing, to patronize them does a service for all of us, because they will continue to make great content. So you know, that's what I would recommend, is that if you see something you like, give it a shot. You know, buy it and give it a shot. You know, and editions. You know, I've kept back converted 5th edition stuff to 1st edition, 4th edition, 3rd. I've come back to mine, and I don't think it's that hard really to take a 1st edition, make it 5th, or take a 3rd, make it 5th, or make a Pathfinder, make it 1st. I just don't think it's that. Oh, cool, Jeff, and that's the right way to do it. So hopefully we all learned a little bit about some really cool publications tonight. So, Mike, what do you want to say in closing for this discussion point?
Keep up the good work, guys, and look forward to doing this again next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have a very argumentative discussion next week. So be ready.
Unfortunately, I think it will be
Yeah.
could be yeah. Unfortunately, I have to say, but that's why we probably need to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
As I get some stuff up here. All right, Mike, what's going on in your world, man?
Oh, got Rich's game coming up on Monday. Otherwise, not really tinkering with anything too much, but we'll see. Maybe a blog post by next week. We'll see.
Yes, it will be on here for 90 days or ported over to my YouTube later tonight. You know, these short ones, they go over quicker. The adventure ones they take like a full day to convert over, and then 2 more days after that to get over into high res. But yeah, these 2-hour ones usually don't take that long. So Mike, speaking of Rich, we'll talk about Rich in a second here. Anna, what do you got going?
Not much at the moment, because my tummy gave up on me a couple of days ago, so I've been really down in the weeds for a bit and got dehydrated real bad and stuff. So but I'm on the mend, so I'm getting better. So it's good, but it was kind of shaky a little bit. So yeah. So I'm not going to overshare the details. You can probably imagine.
So it was like the golem I had last week.
Yes, it was bad. Not good. So and my tummy, I wasn't aware I had a tummy until I was like 40 something, and now I'm more than aware that I have a tummy. So it's it's been, but I'm catching up. So yeah. So on Friday there will hopefully be a mapping stream on Friday as usual. I can't see any reason why right now, but so I'm on the mend. So I'm rooting for that. On Saturday, I'm going to go to Los Angeles for a Patreon get together with a bunch of other creators and stuff. They have a whole day of events and stuff down there. So that will be a napping stream. Yes. Yep. Napping stream. Yep. that will be, yeah. So on Saturday, then I will be down in LA for a Patreon get together. That would be interesting. They had one back in 2018. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of interesting. I met a lot of interesting creators, both in the field of fantasy and D&D and stuff, but also a bunch of others. Really, really cool. and you get to see some famous people too. That's kind of awesome. So yeah, so that is on Saturday, and yeah, that's about it for the moment, so to speak. And then we have a Gabin on Sunday, I assume.
Yes, and it's 1 hour late start. It'll be at
Okay.
8. It'll be
Yep.
at 8
Good.
this upcoming,
Yep.
just because of
Hmm.
I have a bunch of people coming over to the house here. But so this is what's going to be going on. So tomorrow night, now that the machine, we're back up and running downstairs. Got some really great stuff. John Birchfield, I want to say thank you to John. He really helped me out with programming in these new cameras I got, so I can press the button on my Stream Deck and then the cameras move on their own. It's pretty cool. But this is going to be a fun adventure, because look at all the hotties I got in this one. But they're all great. They're all crazy. I'm just kidding. So we got Little Bones, Darling Creepshow, Heather Hex, and Little Bird, along with 2 of my players. Walt and Tom will be there.
Yeah.
And this is
I
the
bet they will be happy. Yep.
yeah, this is the post joust celebration. So Bones will be playing the grand champion of them all, Lady Isarel, who won the Champion of Champions. Heather Hex has Viriel, who won the joust. Darling will be playing Molly Hatchet and Rosie, her halfling. So she'll have 2 characters, kind of. And Little Bird will be playing her cleric mage, and then we'll have 2. My guys will have 2 special players, and you're going to see some internal workings as to what's going on in Altamira with some factions going at each other. And as I said, Little Bird didn't know where the dust up was. There's going to be a big dust up in this one, which will be cool. So it's ladies' night. Yeah, it's going to be a fun
Yeah.
adventure. And I imagine there's gonna be a lot of debauchery at the beginning, so I'm gonna let them have at it for a while, for an hour or so, before like the real serious stuff happens. But yeah, it'll be a fun one. So we'll have those the 4 of them and 2 of my regular players involved in this, and that'll be tomorrow night. Reaper Miniatures giveaway tomorrow night on that, so it'll be a fun Thursday night instead of a Saturday night for a special. Yeah. Exactly. Well, this is going to be late in the evening. So there's a bar called the Violet Eyed Lady. One of Walt's characters, Britta Mart Aradhel, she's a noble Selenian. Her whole family was slaughtered years ago, so she's like one of the only ones left. She's got like 25 comeliness back in that when that stat was popular. Violet Eyed. Bill's got a character named Lord Cruck Halflingbane. He wears a. You probably know who it was molded after. You know anything about sports? He has a big, some kind of weird helmet on. It's reflective in plastic. It looks like, and a big club with all this pine tar all over the club. And Lord Cruck Halflingbane owns this bar, and he's infatuated with this character Britta Mart. So that's where it's going to take place, at the Violet Eyed Lady in Altamira. One of our locations. It's just late night. This is gonna be like 4 o'clock in the morning. This adventure is gonna take place. I tried to get Chuck there. Chuck, fortunately for him, he's going away to see his son up in Virginia. Chuck was going to play a drunk Josh Jet dealer. He was just going to pretend he was intoxicated the whole time. So yeah, no, not George Brett. Lord Cruck Halflingbane. Gave the name right there. So. Yeah, he was probably missing some teeth. So, but pine tar all over the helmet and all. I guess you have to be a Phillies person to get the joke. But he made that character up 25 years ago. So, yeah, you could play a drunk. Just for comedy's sake, yeah, it's John Cruck. Yeah, exactly, it's John Cruck. Yeah. So, and he only has 1 testicle. If you all know that too about him. So. Too much information. That's tomorrow.
I knew that.
You knew that, yeah. So I don't know what I'm doing on Gabin on Sunday night. I'll be working on that probably on Friday, because I've been at interviews all week long. Got one more tomorrow in person. So we're doing a lot of doing a lot of running around, but it's going real well. Next Wednesday, here's the get ready. Demographics of Greyhawk. Rich, and it won't be Lord Brezen on the show. It'll be Rich Longitalos on the show. He's done a lot of analysis on this. Yeah, exactly. Gotta love Crucky there. It was a funny character that Curtis that Bill made up, and the character still. He's like a 14th level half ogre fighter. Yeah. I hope this doesn't get. This is meant to be thought-provoking only. This is not.
Well, yeah, we can be a little context. The reason that we have to say this is because in Greyhawk community history, there have been few issues that have been more debated on Greyhawk forums over the
Yes.
years than demographics. And one of the reasons for that is that first of all, a lot of people seem to have opinions about it. That's good because it is an interesting topic. I agree. I was one of them and I'm still one of them, but also because they've changed the population numbers over the years too. So there's like different lore of this, and there's also a bunch of it. But I'm more kind of interested. We should go into how can you use demographics and how would it affect your game depending on play style and all that sort of thing. Or do you need to care about it at all? That's another question. You might not need to or want to. So yeah.
So please note, let's keep it civil, but thought-provoking. We welcome discussion points from everyone. Your thoughts, your reasoning, but we don't want this to go who's right, who's wrong, because we just don't know.
Exactly, and since
who's right, who's wrong in discussion.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, demographic numbers are all over the place. So even in published lore, they're all over the place. So even in that sense, you can't really. Meaning, come on, it's all over the place, and especially if you're taking things like Living Greyhawk and what Gary wrote after he left TSR in the Gord books and stuff like that. It's all over the place. Yep.
So I'm just typing in something to someone.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting topic to say the least.
Yeah,
and I also think it can be an important topic. It doesn't have to, but it can be.
And we want this to be, take the information that we give in this discussion and decide for your own what you want in your Greyhawk.
Mm-hmm.
XT, I had this talk with him via email and stuff. Anna and I both did.
And I need to come back. So if you watch this, I'm sorry I haven't got back to you. I've been in the bathroom for 2 days, so I need to come back to you on that one.
Anna's this is a dear to her heart thing. For me, it's not so much because my guys don't care. My players don't, so I don't put a lot of time into that. But a lot of other people, like Anna, wants to know how everything works, and I understand. And I respect that.
And I realize that my players don't care, but I do,
exactly,
so to speak. So it's like, and I don't care what my players. Right. No, it's not that simple. But it's depending on what your needs are, so to speak, at the table. Yeah.
I'm trying to hold out for Phoenix Iwaki to come on because I know they have a fundraiser starting tonight, and it starts at in 4 minutes. I'm trying to hold out for the raid to go into that, but all right, let's do the two giveaways. Giveaway number 1 is your choice from this pile. Oh my gosh, I almost went to my Carlos pile. That's my owned. Yeah.
Yeah, you can start.
Choice of 1. No. On that, so choice of here. Treasures of Greyhawk. Oh my gosh, Baba Yaga, Shokanth, Isle of Dread, Castle Amber, King's Festival, Ravenloft 2, Queen's Harvest. Yes, the Expert Rules, Border Watch, Warning Kane's Fantastic Adventure, a Fiend Folio reprint. There you go. Whole bunch of that. And the second one is your choice off the site of Carlos's site for whatever PDF you want of his adventures. So you got your choice on those. All right. So next week, that'll kick us off next week on Wednesday with Rich. Like I said, there will be a cabin. So I'll be on tomorrow night, 7:00. We probably won't get started till 7:30. We'll probably just be guessing, but I'm gonna go live at 7, and then Sunday night at 8 p.m. we'll have a topic point. So I'll get that up and post it to everyone coming up shortly. All right, last call, exclamation point drawing. If anyone sees Phoenix Iwaki pop up, sit tight, Patrick, for the time being. Yes, I got, dude. I literally, we're good for the time being. Sit tight. I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe we'll target a couple. All right. I'm gonna do giveaways. Thanks, Carlos, for doing this too. First winner, you tell me if you if you won a PDF from Carlos or there we go. X grave mistake.
Nice.
X grave mistake. You are up. I know I just saw you. So let me just make sure you come on to claim. Awesome. So you tell me what you, Mark, I got your information here. You tell me what you want. If you want one of these reprints or if you want the Carlos PDF, you tell me and let me do the second winner here. And please, everyone, sit tight because we're going to raid into this fundraiser. I don't have a Vault of the Drell. I'm sorry. I don't have a D3. That's one I don't have. There you go, Patrick. Patrick, send me like 3 or 4 D3s. That seems to be very because that's my Bible for Drow for Greyhawk. So that would be awesome if you, Patrick. You got treasures then. I got your dress to go out tomorrow. Next winner. This will be for Carlos's PDF. Curtis.
Oh, lucky dog.
Curtis.
Awesome.
Curtis.
Congratulations.
Still don't have the miniatures, by the way, Curtis, because Bill, I haven't seen Bill. So, So, Curtis, you tell me, you get with me, or if you have Carlos, I'll forward it to Carlos, or if you want to go right to Carlos's Discord, either way, you tell me what adventure you want in PDF from Carlos. And if you don't have holes, then you should get that. I'm just kidding. So. Stay on the road. All right, come on. I'll give Phoenixy. It's 10 o'clock, so he should be on now. Show more. My gosh, I have so many people live and I don't see. Don't see. We'll give him 1 minute, and then if not, we're gonna raid into someone else. All right. Yep. Yeah. Yes, Curtis. What Carlos PDF? You get your choice. You get your choice of any one you want. So you got to tell me which one you want. So go to the site and let me know. Okay? Yep. Which? Let me know which one. So beyond that, everyone, job hunt is going very well. I have some second and third interviews this week. I have a company that there they go. They just went live. I have a company that I'll be going on a final interview in a week and a half. They're flying me to the corporate headquarters, so that's good. So things are going well.
Well, then you have WotC too. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
No,
I have not heard a peep.
You gonna fly to their HQ?
Yeah,
exactly. At best or at worst, you will get an email. So yeah,
or something else. I'll bend over.
Yeah, you'll get
something.
an automated email response saying we thank you for your application. Period, or something.
Yeah, I didn't even get that. I didn't even get a. Oh yeah.
It's been escalated to corporate.
Yeah, it's been escalated to corporate. Yes, who is this person? Yeah. Because my cover letter was priceless. One day when I got my new employment position, I may share.
Share that.
I may share the cover letter I sent with everyone.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna raid into them. They're up. So we'll see you all tomorrow night 7. Reaper, it's some really nice miniatures from Reaper we're giving away, so come on for that. And of course the ladies are always so entertaining with their vileness.
Yeah.
And I just keep my mouth shut. So let's have some fun with that. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Mike and Anna, thank you for another great show, and thanks for the topic. This went over really well.
Mm-hmm.
See you all tomorrow night. Everyone have a good one. Raid setting up. Dun. Hopefully he's been on long enough that I can. Yep.
Yep. Oh, Scott. Yep.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Thank you. righty.